Hair. It can be the difference between a good day and a bad day, right? It can make us feel either full of confidence or like we want to run away and hide. So what on earth do we do when we get to menopause and our hair starts thinning and falling? Do we just have to accept that it's going to be bad hair days forever? No, I don't believe that we have to accept that. There's many reasons for hair loss and there's many things that we can do to stop it and reverse it. But I'm not going to lie, it does take time and it does take lifestyle changes, and those lifestyle changes have to be ongoing. But if you do make these changes, then there's no reason why you can't have good hair days forever. So before we get into the bulk of the video, if you're watching this and making judgments on my hair, on your hair, a few caveats for you. I do tint my hair to cover my greys. Yes, it is toxic, but I always maintain with toxicity, you have to fight your battles, and going grey is not something I'm ready to embrace. But certain tints can be very nourishing and smoothing for your hair. So yeah, full transparency, I tint my hair. Secondly, I naturally have very thick hair, but what that means is because I have thick hair, I only wash my hair once a week, which is actually healthier. If we wash our hair too frequently, it strips the hair of its natural oils. But washing it less frequently also means that I'm using minimal products and minimal heat on my hair. Yes, I do straighten my hair without straighteners. I look like Hagrid from Harry Potter. So that's my hair, and if we haven't met, I am Chelsea Green, holistic hormone specialist, and I help women transition from peri to post-menopause naturally using homeopathy, herbs, nutrition, and lifestyle medicine. If that sounds like the type of thing that you're interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell so you get notifications every time I publish a video. So, causes of hair loss. Yes, it is menopause, but under the term of menopause, there's lots of different reasons why you could be losing hair. So I want to break those down a little bit because the solutions that I offer might be different for you depending on what the underlying root cause of your hair loss is. So if you've watched any of my previous videos, you know I always go on about blood sugar balance and reducing your stress, and the same is true here. Increased stress hormones breaks down proteins, including hair proteins, which leads to hair loss. High levels of insulin, i.e. blood sugar imbalance, leads to higher levels of androgens, and that will lead to not just hair loss but also that facial hair growth, very similar to what you see in polycystic ovary syndrome. In perimenopause, we see increased estrogen relative to progesterone, i.e. that estrogen dominant state, and that can compromise the thyroid. Poor thyroid health leads to hair loss. As we move through perimenopause and menopause and beyond, we have those lower estrogen levels and we end up with a higher level of testosterone. It's not that we have high levels of testosterone, it's just high relative to estrogen. Those high levels of testosterone get converted to a hormone called DHT, which causes hair loss. But the thing with hormones is everything's interconnected. So high stress levels will lead to a compromised thyroid. High levels of insulin will lead to high levels of cortisol and vice versa. Higher levels of insulin will also lead to higher levels of testosterone. Higher levels of insulin can compromise the liver and the gallbladder. The liver and gallbladder not working well will compromise your thyroid. So you can see with hormones, everything is interconnected and you really have to take a holistic approach, and that is true of stopping and reversing hair loss as well. And when it comes to hair, what I see time and time again is people focusing on the external, and I get that, it's the external that we see, it's the external that we present to the world. But the truth of the matter is our external is only ever a reflection of our internal state. So our hair, skin and nails is a reflection of the health of our inner state. So the focus has to be on calming the adrenals, good gut health, balancing blood sugar levels, and eating a nutrient-rich diet. If you're not eating a nutrient-dense diet, the body will take whatever nutrients you do provide it and ration them for more important functions. So if nutrients are few and far between, the body's not going to waste those nutrients on the external, which it sees as almost like superficial, compared to say something like the health of the brain, the heart, the liver, and any other internal organ. So if you have high levels of stress, if you are really busy, giving all of yourself away to other people and other things, you need to get a grip on that. You have to get some self-care practices going every single day. And if you aren't eating to balance your blood sugar levels, then you need to get on top of that. So for both of those things, I would recommend grabbing my free download, Thriving in the Menopause. You can find the link in the notes below this video. And after this video, watch this video next on menopause nutrition and get that sorted. If you suspect your thyroid might be an issue, please do get that checked out. Indications of the thyroid being an issue would be hair loss around this sort of temple area and the outer third of the eyebrow. There'd also be extreme fatigue, constipation, and weight gain and stubborn weight loss resistance, as well as being chilly all the time. And actually, while you're at it, it would be worth getting your iron levels checked as well. If you have a compromised thyroid, often you have very heavy periods. If you have heavy periods, you're likely to be anemic, and having low iron levels can lead to hair loss. With the thyroid, there's a few things I see time and time again. Either it's adrenally led, stress is detrimental to thyroid health, as is gluten. There might be a gluten sensitivity, and liver gallbladder issues. So you might need to give your liver and gallbladder some love. So you can see the way that you would approach hair loss is very unique, depends on your situation, depends on your root cause of hair loss. And this is exactly the approach I take in my Empowered Menopause program, my one-to-one program. There's no cookie cutter approaches. It is a unique program, individualized to you and your root causes. So if you're looking for a little bit of extra support, make sure to check that out. You can find the link in the notes below. In saying that, of course, there are foods that will help everybody with hair. So let's look at what they are. First of all is protein. We need to make sure we're eating a protein-rich diet for good hair health, but also in menopause, we need a lot more protein than non-menopausal women. So make sure you're getting a good source of protein at every single meal. You know, meat, beef, fish, turkey, chicken, seafood, pork, whatever it is, lentils, chickpeas. And if you're vegan and vegetarian, make sure you are combining your plant-based protein so that you make up complete proteins. And of course, if you are iron deficient, you will also get iron from meat. So make sure that you are eating enough meat to support your iron requirement. Next up is zinc. We need zinc for hair thickness and growth. And it also helps to block those excess androgens that we see when we have high insulin levels, i.e. blood sugar imbalances. So we want to be including zinc-rich foods, which is pumpkin seeds, shellfish, particularly oysters, grass-fed beef, and lentils. We also want a diet rich in omega-3 fatty acids, so that's our oily fish and nuts and seeds. And we need these fatty acids for nourishing and hydrating the hair. But also, if you have high stress levels, you're going to have high inflammatory markers, and high inflammation in the body can lead to hair loss. So omega-3 fatty acids are anti-inflammatory. That is, they'll help to bring down inflammation in the body and prevent hair loss. Nuts and seeds are actually just a great thing to be eating, because not only are they rich in omega-3s and zinc, but also vitamin E. And vitamin E, again, is really important for hair, skin, and nails. Next up is selenium. And selenium is not only essential for good hair health, but also for thyroid health. And the best source of selenium is Brazil nuts, but you can also get it from chicken, sardines, tuna, and turkey. We also need to be eating a collagen-rich diet. Collagen is the building block for keratin, which we need for healthy, thick hair. And as we age, we become less efficient at producing our own levels of collagen. So by including things like bone broths, cod, and eggs, we can increase our collagen. Personally, I use a collagen powder. It's a tasteless powder that you can add to coffee, soups, yogurts, anything like that, smoothies. If you are going to use the collagen powder, just make sure that it's really clean, free of GMOs, and preferably organic. We also want a diet rich in vitamin C. We need vitamin C for collagen production, but also for adrenal health. So if you're highly stressed, you're probably needing more vitamin C than most people. So lots of berries, leafy greens, broccoli, citrus fruit, tomatoes, and peppers. And finally, biotin. So biotin is a B vitamin, it's B7, and it helps with keratin production. Personally, I am not a fan of taking individual B vitamins. The B vitamins are finely tuned, and taking one in isolation can knock out the others. I would actually recommend taking a B complex instead, because so many other B vitamins are needed for healthy hair as well, like B3, B5, B12, and folate. But if you are interested in biotin, I would recommend trying to eat biotin-rich foods instead. That includes meat, legumes, spinach, sunflower seeds, avocados, and eggs. So supplements for hair health. If you are thinking of taking any of the things that I mentioned just previously as a supplement, I would actually recommend looking at a really good quality food-grade multivitamin supplement instead, or a specific hair, skin, and nails supplement that's been formulated with the right amount of each ingredient. And the reason I recommend this is because vitamins and minerals don't work in isolation. Minerals particularly are paired, and so taking zinc on its own, for example, could throw out copper. By taking a specific formula, it's just a way of ensuring you're not messing with your system further. There's a couple of products which I will link to in the notes below if you are interested. However, I do have two recommendations for you, and the first is sea buckthorn oil. Sea buckthorn oil is a fatty acid. It does have omega-3 in it, but it's also very rich in omega-7 and omega-9. and it's been shown to increase hair thickness and hair growth, as well as the thickness of individual strands of hair. And as a side note, it's really good for problems like vaginal atrophy and dryness. And the second recommendation is tissue salt, a biochemical cell salt. So we have minerals that we need for healthy cell function, and that's the role of tissue salts. And the tissue salt that I particularly like for hair is silica. Silica is the most abundant mineral in the body, and it's found in every single cell, and it supports connective tissue, and it's an excellent support for falling hair. Again, I'll link to both of those in the notes below. But like I said in the beginning, it really does take time. From a healing perspective, hair, skin and nails is seen to be superficial compared to the inner, more important organs. We have innate healing abilities, and the more important organs are given priority over the less important organs. So we just have to be kind to ourselves and recognize that it does take time, but it is possible to stop and reverse hair loss. And if you're not eating a nutrient-dense diet, then there's just not enough nutrients for you to have lovely, luscious locks. So get yourself nutritionally supported by watching this video next.